What up, everybody? This is Darren Hunt from Living Life Fearless, and I'm back with the reaction to I Decided by Big Sean. Over the last couple years, I've kind of come to the conclusion that Big Sean is arguably one of the most consistently solid rappers out there today. Now, he may not jump into your mind as much as the others out there, or he may not have as big of a cultural impact, and that sometimes he is pretty corny, but he does consistently put out good slash great music pretty much every year. And even though I feel this way, I still never really get all that excited for when he announces a new album. I don't necessarily know why that is. There's just something about him, I guess. But I do generally appreciate it when it does drop. And with each one of his last albums, he seemed to only get better and better with each new release. And there's something to be said about that level of continuous progression for an artist. Without a doubt for me, Dark Sky Paradise was his best album to date. It really found that sweet spot between simple fun and serious artistry. It also by and far had his darkest production, and it laid the groundwork to show that he is more than just pop singles. And on I Decided, it's a formula and sound that he essentially tries to recapture, albeit with a lighter touch and tone. Can't really fault him for wanting to go down that road again. If it worked so well before, why not double up? And thankfully, the production on I Decided is so well executed that they're able to capture that same sort of vibe he had on his last album without feeling like full-on rehashes. Bounce Back, Moves, and Halfway Up the Balcony would feel right at home on DSP with their dark, brooding beats. Inspire Me is a dope, feel-good song highlighted by some really cool, soulful vocal samples in the background. And Voices in My Head / Stick to the Plan really show how far he's come, as it's a layered two-parter that I don't think he would have been able to pull off in his previous albums. But the production isn't the only place that he continues to progress. He also continues to progress as a lyricist. I would say he's always been a well above average rapper with some really dope wordplay, but he was always plagued by some corny, cringeworthy lines that always kept him from being in the conversations with the best. Now, he doesn't completely escape that trend on I Decided, but it's much less of a distraction, and at times he does lay down some seriously fire verses. And one thing I will always applaud him for is not being afraid to go toe-to-toe with the best out there. Now, normally it doesn't work out in his favor, but he does it again on I Decided by putting arguably the greatest rapper of all time, Eminem, on No Favors. Sean does a serviceable job, but he was definitely outclassed on this one. But it is him, so I can't really hold it against him too much. I Decided was yet another very impressive album from Big Sean, and I think it's time that people really start talking about him when talking about hip-hop's elite. Have you heard I Decided? What'd you think about it? Do you think it's time to be talking about Big Sean amongst hip-hop's elite? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to head over to Living Life Fearless and leave your rating for the album.
Of the tunnel, I should've realized it was inside. So lately I've been trying to get what's inside outside. So many people want to see my insides outside. I'm from that city 4 hours east to south side, where everyone outside but don't fuck with no outside. It's gorgeous.